Hey guys, Juju22 here, and welcome to a special Much Games Guides Hall of Fame induction special. And it is brought to you by muchgames.ca, but I am not alone. I do have several people with me, and it starts with the co-founders, Mr. Cole, NL112, and Ryan Bragg.
Yep.
What's up?
Yeah, hey. So, oh, by the way, this is the 2020 Hall of Fame. You know,
Yes, 2020 edition of it.
It's probably the only good thing that's going to come out of 2020 because the other, 9 months they didn't exist.
Wait, there's a 2020?
Yeah, I know, there's 2020. Like, I thought it just goes 2019 and then 2021. What happened to 2020? No such thing. Never happened.
Oh, so that's... Oh, I thought they called it COVID-19 because we skipped 20. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Anyway. So there's basically a few twists this year, a few new things, but we'll get to those.
All right, in the meantime, we also have Moogle, some guy named Banga.
Oh, well, how am I added to this call? What's going on?
Oh, there you go. He's too drunk right now. And
no, seriously, why am I here?
I don't know how you do.
Why am I here?
Aren't you supposed to be streaming something by now?
What about me?
Yeah, it's Jackbox Friday games tomorrow.
There's also Samurai TX.
No, this is Snake.
Oh, okay, never mind. He's been taking over by Snake. Okay.
He put Samurai in the box.
I am in the box.
Alright, so anyway, we have a bunch of games to announce, so we might as well get to it, shall we?
Yes, let's get to the first game.
Oh, is that my cue?
Yes, you're here.
Why am I fucking kicking on you motherfuckers? You set me up! God damn it.
It's a trap!
It's a trap.
So our first game is Kirby's Canvas Cursed. It's actually one of the first Kirby games that have come out on DS that actually changes the gameplay by a shitload, and I don't think it was very well received at the start because it wasn't a traditional Kirby game. It was more of a puzzle game where you like drew shit, and it's surprisingly, actually, I think it's pretty underrated. I think I enjoy it. I probably enjoy it most out of anyone else here, but I think it's a really fun game. I think it's a wonderful addition to the Hall of Fame. So,
yeah. On top of it now, Dovey did Sephiroth 4 did induct this game, and yeah, he pretty much hit the spot on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, hit using the stylus and everything. There were re-releases of this game on the Wii U Virtual Console from 2015 to 2016, depending on where you were to. And they also...
I was supposed to mention the release things too.
No, you didn't have to.
No. Man, it doesn't really matter if you or not.
Oh, okay.
The releases don't really matter. Really, because
it's like the points on Whose Line Is It Anyway. They just don't matter.
Pretty much.
It just don't matter.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
go on.
And it did actually put out the sequel. Everyone remembers this one back in 2015, Kirby's Rainbow Curse.
I remember that game.
Actually, that was a really fun game. I just wish I didn't have to pay fucking $60 for it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yes, no, but yep. I've played the game before, this, Canvas Curse, but not recently. Probably the year it came out. I played it, and then I haven't played it since.
I can understand the backlash you got, but I guess you have to exploit the stylus and whatnot. It wasn't too bad, as Moogle said. I kind of liked it.
I liked it.
It was different.
I do agree with some people saying it was a chore to 100%.
Because it was. All Kirby games can be a chore to 100% if you're really into that.
That's not true. Amazing Mirror was fun to 100%, and a lot of people hated 100%ing that game. I don't know why. Same with Squeak Squad.
Yeah.
Squeak Squad. I remember Squeak Squad.
But like depending on the Kirby games, like I did, even though this was pretty much easy to 100%, Return to Dreamland or Kirby's Adventure Wii, I think is what it's called over in Europe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
I'm pretty sure Taju's having PTSD for the sheer fact that it took him like 10 years to complete the game on his channel. That's why he's not talking right now. He's like, "Oh God, don't bring it up to me, please."
I mean, just real life happened, you know. And
Yeah.
No,
not only that, I mean, I could go into much more greater detail as to what really happened, but
No
That's-
worries.
It's not.
No.
We're just having a little fun.
That's like saying,
Oh, it's-
that's
yeah.
like
He
we're-
finally became a full-grown fungus that day.
So yeah,
Wow.
Kirby Scammer Kiss.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep,
And
it's Blue Road. Yeah.
I guess we can move on to our second game, and yeah.
Speaking of growing up, Lufia and the Fortress of Doom. This is actually the sequel to Lufia 2. Yes, believe it or not, the sequel is actually the prequel. And the reason I say growing up is because you play as Maxim's ascendants or descendants. That was a fucking poor way to word it. I'm sorry. I'm terrible with wording sometimes. But you play as their descendant, or as his descendant. Oh my God, I can't talk today. And you basically are out hunting the last of the Sinestrals, who happen to still be alive, and while also finding people that were connected with the Fortress of Doom, aka Artea, Guy, and other people that are connected to all of it, to pretty much see if you can get the whole picture out of it and take out Douse once and for all. It's a game by Natsume. You can find it pretty much, anywhere, like as far as like emulation goes. Very wonderful RPG, really good, awesome music. That's all I can really say. It's very colorful too. Really good Super Nintendo game.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I do believe you did this one in your channel, so did Bang on his. So
Yes,
two
I
very good
did,
Let's Plays to
actually.
check out.
I love that. I love that game.
I actually did a
That
Let's
was
Play
a
on
good
it.
game.
I did a very good Let's Play on it. Pretty happy with it too. Except for the time that I had to re-record a part because everything was desynced. That was fun. Never record on a potato, guys. It's great.
Yes.
Yep.
Usually I prefer something called a computer.
Yeah.
Well,
Never record on.
I was gonna say you're implying that I wasn't using a PC at the time, albeit it was kind of a piece of shit. But that's beyond the point.
Yeah, it might have been easier to do it on a lemon.
yeah.
Dude. I was recording that shit with a cell phone and a tripod, trying to DSP it,
Oh yeah.
No,
We
but
will-
I was using. I
Or
remember-
using unregistered HyperCam 2.
No,
Yeah, there you go.
I was using Bandicam, recording at 15 frames per second.
Oh God! No wonder it.
Oh, no.
Wow.
No wonder.
No wonder.
No, it wasn't. It actually was recording at 60. There was just times where frames dropped because my PC was just crap. Yes, it couldn't even handle emulators. But anyway, enough about me. But yeah, that's pretty much Lufia. All right, bye.
That's it. He's got to this video.
That's
I've done my 2 games. Now I'm
It's
out.
like, screw you. It's like, screw you guys. I'm going home.
I quit.
I quit. I did my 2 games. I'm quiet here. Bye.
I've only been around for months and I already quit this group. Fuck it.
Work smarter, not harder.
All right.
All right,
Moving on.
let's go on to the third game now.
Okay, so the third game being inducted is Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth, which was released in 2015 on the PS Vita and 2016 on the PlayStation 4. I haven't had too much experience with this game, but I do know the basics after playing the Next Order, I believe it's called, on the PS4 as well. So I wouldn't say the plot's the same, but the mechanics kind of feel the same, if you ask me, after watching a few videos of it. you can choose between a male and female. I don't know the names per se because I keep forgetting, and you end up in being part of a Tokyo Police Department, encountering a phenomenon called Eden syndrome. That's just the gist of it. And to be honest, I think it's the same as Next Story. I do like the game. Whether I'll come back to play it, probably I will give it a visit. But in terms of Digimon, I'm more familiar with the TV show than the games in terms of plot. If Wikipedia didn't exist, I probably wouldn't know this plot because I haven't really got too much experience with this game. I've had the experience of the previous game, like I've said, but I still think it's another game that was positively received. So if you are a Digimon fan, then this game's definitely for you.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the names here on Wikipedia. Takumi Iva or Amy Iva. I hope I probably botched the last names, but that's what it seems.
Basically, just think of it as playing a newer version of Digimon World.
Yeah.
It's a really fucking good game. I just bought that game recently on PC, the complete edition. Fantastic game.
I may have to look into getting it.
It runs really well on PC.
The complete edition got a total of 341 Digimon.
Yep.
So
that's a shitload compared to the base game if you bought it on PS4. Yeah.
Which the base game has 249, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, 249.7 that were DLC. So there you go.
That's a lot of pocket monsters.
That is.
Indeed.
But that's a good game, especially for the plot and everything. Like I remember watching a bit of the anime when I was younger.
I remember that show.
Back in them days, we actually had backs on the TVs.
Actually, we did. That's the funny thing. We actually did.
Back in our days, when we were 50 years old, we didn't have backs. They always broke.
All right. So, yeah, Digimon Story. I might have to look
more like
into it.
Brokeback Mountain.
Pretty much.
Wow.
Floating
Brokeback
questions.
Mountain.
Hey, buddy.
Thank you, everybody, for watching the video. I'm out.
I'm out. That's it.
Yeah.
This is the worst video we've ever done.
So, what's video we done as of today, or what's video we did so far?
Yeah, there you go, right?
Because the year's not over yet. Remember, this is the year that doesn't exist.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So, we can't really say this is the worst video we've ever done this year, because this year doesn't exist. Which means all that work I put in the Final Fantasy X apparently didn't happen. Because this year doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That means that Majora's Mask isn't finished yet, because this year doesn't exist.
Exactly.
God damn it.
Yeah. Sorry, Samurai, we still have to go through more troubles with dogs who don't know how to tell us the truth.
We don't have to listen to their wife. I have a wife.
Anyway, moving on to our fourth game, I guess. We should move on. All right, so I actually inducted this one. It's actually Xenosaga for the PlayStation 2. It's part of the trilogy. Came out in February 2002, it's published by Namco and Bandai, really good companies, and Monolith Soft. So it's really a futuristic RPG, like sci-fi. So it kind of goes up my alley with sci-fi. So it basically takes place in the year 20XX. I shit you not. 20XX. So a tribute to Mega Man, I guess. It was supposed to originally be six games, but due to budget cuts, the company made it into 3. But I have all 3 of them. It's a great RPG. The main character is an android called Cosmos, who actually was in the game Project X Zone as a crossover. So if you ever played Project X Zone, which I think is on the 3DS, She is actually in that, and it also spun off like an anime as well.
I always wondered if this had any connection to Xenogears. I don't think it does, though.
It doesn't really have any connection to Xenogears. However, I think it was like a tribute to it in a way, because when they did this game, they kind of, I guess, got the idea. Yeah, so one of the guys that created the game was actually a spiritual successor to Xenogears.
Yeah.
Tetsuya Takashi, actually. So he created Xenosaga, which is a spiritual successor to the Square-produced Xenogears, for which he founded Monolith Soft, which is the team that made the game with help from Namco. So it's kind of like I said, Xenogears kind of helped with it.
And yeah, Xenosaga ended up leading up to Xenoblade Chronicles, if I'm
Yeah,
correct.
it did. Yep.
Yep.
He basically built a new project, which was, like I said, for Xenoblades. And actually, like I said, characters from the Xenosaga would appear in multiple crossover games. Just one to be in Project X.
In fact, this is actually the second Xenosaga game that was actually inducted. 5 years ago, Xenosaga 3 got inducted.
Yeah. And the only ones I had, I had the original 3 for PS2. And there was another one that came out apparently, but it was like a mobile one. But never played that one. So, but great game, and like I said, kind of inspired by Xenogears, and it helped launch, I guess, the company that really got into Xenoblade eventually. Well, one of the guys who created this game. So yeah, Xenosaga.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, always good.
Always good.
Plus, the fact that these games are long, too, kind of helps.
Oh, the Xenosaga games are really long. Yeah, like there's 3 games, and it's almost like if you want to think about, I guess, Star Wars or something like that. You get or some movies that go like that, like I guess The Matrix, like a few movies like that, where the movie ends or the game ends, but you actually have to play the second game to see what happens after the end of the third one. So it's like a trilogy where if you want to know the whole story, you have to play all 3 games. So you just play the first game and never picked up the next two, picked the second one and went to the third one, you will be completely lost because you don't know what happened in the second one. So you have to play them in order. Just like some movies you got to watch in order, like trilogy. You can't like watch the Godfather 2 without really watching the Godfather 1. You can, but you're gonna be lost.
Speaking of lost, let's see if we can figure this one out. Let's go to the 5th game.
Yes, let's move on.
Well, honestly, I can tell you how lost I was when I first heard about Ty, the Tasmanian Tiger, but it is a platform game, and this was released in 2002 for the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and the GameCube. And if you are more familiar with Crash Bandicoot, and re-released on PC, and on the Switch and PlayStation 4 and Xbox One soon to be announced. But anyway, this is a 3D platformer, and it kind of works like the best way to describe it, it's Crash Bandicoot but in 3D mode before any of the Crash games that would later come out. Well, actually, they all are 3D in some cases, but
Crash
this one's a bit more
3D platforming.
Oh yeah, it was. But Ty,
more
the
of the
Tasmanian
likes.
Tiger is.
It's more of the likes of the platforming of Ratchet and Clank and
yeah,
Jack.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, that's probably that.
Yeah, it's more open. It's more open. It's not like restrictive. It's not like what is it? It's not linear. That's what I was trying to say.
Oh, it's restrictive on me with that fucking horrible camera, but we won't talk about that.
Let's talk about the camera. I heard about that.
The fucking camera's terrible in that game.
I mean, it was when I played it. It was really bad, and that was the GameCube version.
Oof.
But no, it's an alright game.
Oh boy.
This game was inducted by Xenosaga, I believe.
Yeah,
Yes, it was Xenosaga. You're correct.
He had this game in multiple tournaments, so
Actually, about 8 of them, if I'm correct.
It's that man's
For the last
duty to
for
make
8
sure
years, he put this game in, and finally gets inducted.
that man is
And
on
he's
a
not
mission
even there to
get
celebrate
paid.
it.
Yeah, I was gonna
He
say that
was
man's on a
definitely
mission to play.
He was definitely on a mission with this one.
Yeah, he's the
That's
Ted
true.
Duncan every Hall of Fame.
The obsession was very unhealthy.
Sure, dedication. Puts it in for 8 years. Still gets eliminated this year. And it was like, oh, let's finally induct it because I get to pick a game, so I'm going to finally put it in.
Yeah.
8 years later.
Oh god.
But that's dedication, man, people. Must really like the game.
But after so long, he finally gets it in there.
Yep, finally gets it in there. So, like you said, let's. So yeah, I don't think I've really played the game myself. I've only seen videos of it, but I've never played it myself.
Yeah, same here.
Same
And
here.
the next,
yeah, so
the next game that's going to be inducted here in a moment is a game I'm very familiar with.
Same here.
We'll leave it up to that person who inducts that.
And so the next game that will be inducted into the Much Games Hall of Fame is Mega Man 2, which we all know is the sequel to, well, Mega Man. And it's definitely, like, in terms of the NES era, I feel was, like, the best installment in that series. Like, it definitely was a stark change to the first Mega Man that only had 6 Robot Masters, and the last few stages were absolutely brutal. In Mega Man 2, it gets a little bit easier, but you can actually choose 2 different difficulties, and it was the first Mega Man game that had 8 Robot Masters. So, of course, Dr. Wily is once again the main villain, and you have to go through 8 Robot Masters and the Wily Lair to actually go ahead and defeat him. But, of course, you know, it does get a little bit more unique because you have special abilities that you can use other than just, well, the Magnet Beam from Mega Man 1. Like, you had 3 different types of sub-items that you can use to solve, like, certain obstacles. And it was also the first Mega Man game that used the E-Tanks, which I felt was a great addition to the series for people that were struggling, like, to beat certain bosses or certain levels on 1 tank of health. And for me, I think it was the first Mega Man game that I actually owned back in the day. I think I got it for, like, anywhere between $5 to $20 back then. Of course, I don't have that card anymore. But I remember beating that game many times. And if you do pretty well, like, if you know what you're doing, you can beat it in, like, under an hour.
Yeah, until you get to that one boss before fucking Wily Castle 4 and you realize, like, how horribly designed it is.
Oh, the one where if you mess up on your Crash Bomber used, you just have to die.
Yep.
Oh, that one.
Great
Oh
fucking
my
design.
god, I hate that one.
Yeah, it is horrible if you it is horrible if you don't know the pause trick. Also, there's a pause trick where you can actually avoid getting hit by the lasers if you pause it at the right time. So
I never knew of that trick.
yeah, if
trick.
If you pause your frames of animation, like Mega Man kind of goes into a weird like teleport state. He actually becomes completely invulnerable to projectiles.
Oh,
it's actually kind of funny when you think about it that you could cheese the game by doing that. I
just love the game.
Yeah. You could say Capcom really does the best number 2s. That's an AVGN joke.
That just caught me off guard there. Okay.
All right.
I just
reference.
I mean, I just love the game because, well, I mean, it just has a special place in my heart, given that was my first Mega Man, second Mega Man game that I've ever beaten, so I'm happy with that.
Well, I also like the fact that, like, I think one of the items in that one was broken, too, so I'm almost sure
they were all broken.
Oh, yeah,
they were all broken. They were all broken.
It's just that the Metal Blade was the most fucking OP thing in the goddamn universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was so powerful that even Metal Man couldn't handle it.
That's when you know it's bad. When you can't handle your own weapon.
I guess
You
Metal
get the
Man
item,
Ray-
then you gotta face him again in the boss rush. Oh, I'm facing him again in the boss rush. I'm just gonna use the Metal Blade and kick his ass. He's weak to his own weapon.
I guess Metal Man really likes to listen to rock after all.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it had a really good sound. That game had a really good soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
So-
I agree.
It's iconic.
Very good.
It is so iconic. Wily's castle theme. Can't beat it.
I think what was it? Wily Stage 2 is the most infamous song. Is it Wily Stage 2?
Yep.
I
Yeah,
think it
that's
is.
what it has.
Why
It
did
has
stage
to-
1
it
and
also
2
had-
had
it also
the...
One
had
and two had
some-
like the really good, a really infamous soundtrack.
Even the
also had the
main
most-
theme before you start the game is iconic.
Yeah.
It also had some of the most infamous bosses, like the fucking dragon.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, Dragon. I don't know.
That if you
Trying.
if you like start the fight a bit too late, you die before you even begins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like pops in, surprise, motherfucker.
It's even
Oh
funnier
my
when
God.
it's even funnier watching new people play it and they realize like, oh, it's just a platforming section. Suddenly a dragon comes out. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like I've seen people do that, and they try to stay on the platform and shoot while he's chasing. Like, that platform's gonna disappear in about 2 seconds.
Mhm.
Keep going.
Uh,
So you're trying to chase the game. Nope, that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck with that one.
Good luck with that. Wait, because you just fell in the pit. Guess what? You gotta do it again. Oh wait, that was your last life. You got game over. Sucks to be you. All right, yeah, Mega Man 2, such a great game.
Let's call that inducted that one. All right. Let's go on.
Yeah, and
to-
I was one, and I competed already on my games.
That alone is a surprise. Cole inducted a Mega Man game.
When
I
Colin
think-
told me that, I was like, "What?" I was like, "Wait,
So was I. It was a
I think
surprise.
about-
wait, what?
think
Did you
about-
put it in the Mega Man game? What?" So like, what? No Bayonetta type game?
That's
Think
because she
about-
inducted the two of them.
Exactly.
Which is true.
only two of these games off this list I let's played. That's shitty for me. I just set the game up.
There's only a couple of these are actually let's play. Actually,
I haven't
Yeah.
let's played none
No,
of these.
actually, no, 3 of them because Final Fantasy IV I also did on my channel, but I did the PC.
yeah,
I
you
would-
did.
I've only let's played Mega Man 2. As
I
my
did that one. I've done Donkey Kong. I'm pretty much that in Donkey Kong.
All right. So let's
Oh,
go on to
and-
the
yeah.
game number 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one is my personal induction, and it's Max Payne 2, The Fall of Max Payne. It is the sequel to Max Payne, and it was released in 2003 on the PC, PlayStation 2, and Xbox, made by Remedy Entertainment. This game takes place 2 years after the first game, where you return as Max Payne, who goes back to be the NYPD cop after he was with the DEA in the first game. So with this game, what can I say about this game that hasn't been said?
Anything.
Sounds pretty painful.
Phenomenal story. It's a great follow-up. I guess it's a massive improvement compared to the first game, as if the first game didn't have any much flaws in it, but new weapons, new characters. We have Winterson, and Mona Sachs makes her return in this game. When you thought she died in the first game, she really didn't. And Max Payne goes after the cleaners to try and help Vladimir and whatnot. It's just a lot of plot twists in this game. I would explain it in a review, but this isn't a review.
Like
So,
like that. This one, I did play this one like I played the first one, and I gotta find like with the first one, the biggest painful is following the blood trails in between the.
oh no,
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
yeah,
That sounds hella painful.
It was.
it was.
Almost as painful as you watching you play it.
Almost max painful.
Bop, 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 bop.
No painkillers can resolve this shit.
Yeah.
Because he's already addicted to pain killers.
God damn it. The one time I fucking closed my app.
But also with it, like it does have this little bit of a romantic thing between Mona and Max in the game.
Yep.
That's been the center circle of it from the first game. They did have some connections, but then second game they connected much more.
Yep. But apparently,
I like the comic book scenes too, like in it too. Like
Yep.
they do like the comic panels. They were
I
they
do
were
love
nice.
the film noir concept.
Yeah,
I like
it
the
was-
bullet time as well.
Oh, bullet time was excellent.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
The main problem I had with this game, and I think everybody would agree, too short.
It was way too short.
Compared to
And of course, the main villain was Vladimir. Vladimir Lem.
the
Yeah,
first
but you
game.
really didn't know that until the end.
Towards the end, yeah. And I was associated with Max is actually Vladimir. Have no fear, Vlad is here. It's just like, yeah.
Vlad is here.
And of
Yep,
course, then
great.
you find out that he was responsible for some of the events in the first game that you didn't know about, and I won't spoil.
Yep. Won't go into that, but like you said, Remedy Entertainment published by Rockstar Games. When we all know what Rockstar is one of the ones that's famous for the GTA games.
Sam Lake definitely does produce legendary games, and Max Payne is definitely one of them.
And there was a third one too, but
he still does the facial expressions everybody loves from the first game.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Lake is a pretty cool guy.
yeah.
He still goes and makes new games these days, but of course this is about Max Payne.
Alright, so
Yeah, so why don't we go move on to our next game?
let's move on.
All right. So the next game was actually my personal choice for the Much Games Hall of Fame, which is Soul Blazer for the Super Nintendo. This was a game that I remember playing like when I was a kid as a rental. It was a fun little like action RPG made by Quintet, but published by Enix, I think it was, or Enix. And it was actually as part of an unofficial trilogy with that game, Illusion of Gaia, and a game that we never got in North America, Terranigma. So how this game runs is that you are summoned by the Master, or I guess it's supposed to be God, if you will, going into this world that was like ravaged by an evil force named Deathtal that took away all the souls of pretty much everything in the land. And it's up to you to slay monsters and release the souls from monster dens to then repopulate the world. And you're not just rescuing people. Sometimes you're rescuing animals. Sometimes you're rescuing flowers. And even sometimes you're rescuing like drawers or tables.
What?
No joke. That's even a thing in one special level. So it's a fun little action RPG. Like there is like a level up system, and you manage your equipment, you manage your inventory, you even manage spells, and you gotta use these spells to be able to get through like certain parts of the game. That was like one of the games I found like pretty challenging back in the day, but it's like music, its level design was really fun. And that's why I wanted to nominate that for the Much Games Hall of Fame. I remember doing a Let's Play of that years ago as well.
I remember that Let's Play. That was a good one.
Yeah. Like it is a strong game, great choice for this Hall of Fame.
It is a great choice.
But you pretty much hit everything on the head with what the game's about and everything. So
Not much I can could say more than what Bob already said.
Yes.
Great game.
Yep.
And it's now finally in the Hall of Fame, like the other bunch of games ahead of it.
Yep. So before we get on to the next two games, we can either we're just going this way. The next two games were before I let the Jew announce the next one. Little thing is these next two games were games that were in the finals of the Hall of Fame tournament. Now, with that being said, 2 votes is all it took. 2 votes between the winning game and the game that's about to be announced now by the Jew.
Okay. I won't say which one won, but anytime we're ready.
Oh, wait, we're ready. We're waiting on you.
Well, we talked about Mega Man 2, Max Payne 2, but let's go to a 3 now. This is the sequel to the sequel, Donkey Kong Country 3, Dixie's Double Trouble. And the plot is very simple. Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong get captured, and it's up to Dixie Kong and her cousin, if I'm not mistaken. Was it Winky, or what was his name?
Kitty.
Winky was the frog.
Kitty.
He was the
Sorry, Winky was the frog. Sorry, Kitty Kong.
He said Winky.
And well, let's just say that this game I really like because it's not as linear as the last two games were. This one's a bit more open in terms of having a open world. Like that's what it has. However, the 100% rating to get this is like you have to be a super player to get 100% on this game because and while it is a fun game, getting everything, like getting the 100%, it's not that easy, but it's nothing that you couldn't do without practice.
Well, you gotta know the game inside out, too.
Oh, of course. And of course you have like the animal buddies like Squitter, the spider, Squawks the parrot, Ellie the elephant, and then Perry the parallel bird, and finally one of my favorites, Engard. The swordfish. I just love that.
On guard, motherfucker.
Oh yeah. And also the fact that there's so much this game can offer that it's to go over all of it would take a long time, so I'm not going to do that. But it's a fun game from what I've seen. I've never played it personally, but I've seen Let's Plays of it. It's fun to watch.
Bragg Let's played it on our channel too, and if this game had to win, it would have been co-op.
Yeah, and I gotta say, out of all the Donkey Kong Country, the original 3, I think this might be my favorite one. This was the second one, I can't really say, but they're all good, but I really enjoyed this one when I played it.
Yeah, well, myself and Bonga did the first one. Wait, hold on. Bonga did the first one with me, I guess you want to say.
Yeah, it was you.
Me. Yeah, but I'm trying to make a joke out of it. Damn it. He carried me.
Swing and a miss.
I mean, to be fair, your contribution in Let's Play was already a joke.
You had to go down there.
Come on.
He's not wrong. That Let's Play particularly, yeah, he's not wrong.
Bongo really knocked that one out of the park.
Although it could be worse though. It could be like carrying Colette in Donkey Kong 64. Oh wait.
Oh, okay. I'm pretty sure if Colette heard you say that, she'd be like, "What did you say, dear?"
Don't worry, she's already stuck up 2 middle fingers to me just then.
Next thing you know, he's got divorce papers on his lap in the morning.
No, it wouldn't be divorce papers. It'd be a blue shell coming straight at my ass.
No. It's divorce papers. It's divorce papers with a fucking picture of a fucking blue shell inside the fucking divorce papers.
Yeah. But yeah, Donkey Kong Country 3.
Alright, so I guess we'll go on to the winning game. Now, this game has already just been started on our channel. It is Final Fantasy IV, as Moogle is now Let's Play it.
Yeah. How ironic, too. You give it to the dude that knows a Final Fantasy game. Who knew?
Yeah, who knew?
I also like that. I like that you listed it as in brackets some moron.
Oh yeah, that was for me, the guy that was going to induct it though.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, it is Square that did come out with the game, like most of the games in that one. It was released originally in 1991, so making it the oldest game ever to win in a tournament. And on top of it now, pretty much the plot is that you follow Cesar Harvey, who was the captain of Wings of Baron. who got stripped of his title and has to go on a quest now for the king, which he actually has a. You can correct me if I'm wrong on this one, but he has some suspicion of the king.
Yeah, it turns out the king was actually brainwashed by a individual known as Golbez.
Well,
Golbez has intentions, and I'm not gonna go into too much detail about spoiling the game. Golbez has intentions on taking all the crystals for himself and becoming basically the true Dark King of the entire continent. Basically, he wants to be like an all-powerful being, even if it's worth kidnapping people's loved ones and stuff to get through all of this.
what an asshole.
Yeah, that pretty much sounds like the concept of half the Final Fantasies at times.
Half, I would say, are pretty much all of them.
But I find that 4 has one of the more interesting plots as far as character building goes. It's got one of my favorite characters ever, Rydia.
Yeah.
And her backstory is, like, honestly, you just can't help but to feel sorry for her. But, like, she basically lost everything and was left with nothing. Like, you can't hate a character like her at all. And then, just...
Unless they give them dislikable traits, but yeah, she doesn't have any.
But that's the thing, like, that's what I like about her and every character in the cast, is that they all have a unique perspective on everything, and I find 4's character building and world building to be probably the best out of, like, any other games. Like, 6 is up there, too. Same with 9. But it's like, 4's was really interesting because it's characters you all, like, honestly can't hate. There's, like, not a single bad character in that entire cast. They're all characters you just absolutely adore for what they do.
And then they had a GBA version where you can actually play as some of the characters that you wouldn't have in the SNES one.
Yep, you can do that in the PSP one, actually.
And you're doing the PC version, you said?
I'm doing the PSP version. I did the PC version on my YouTube channel, which is based off the DS version of the game, which was ported to Android and then ported to PC.
So many ports.
Yeah. So, but I played the PC version, which is the 3D remake. I'm playing the PSP version, which is basically a reimagined version of the original Japanese version of the game, not the US version, because the US version is trash. And it's a really well done, reimagined game. Like, it's probably one of the best remakes of the original game with new sprites and everything. Honestly, the sprite work in the PSP version is fucking fantastic. If you play any of the PSP Final Fantasy games, which I would highly recommend, busting out that emulator and playing those games, because there's 1, 2, and now 4. I'm pretty sure 3 had it too, but they didn't. I don't think they got a physical release. But if you ever get the chance to play those games, play them on the PSP. The sprite works are fucking fantastic on them.
And more content.
Oh, and all the content from the content from the GBA versions in there, and also in the Final Fantasy IV Complete Collection, because it's called Complete for a reason. You get to play Final Fantasy After Years as well, including all the content.
That's one bloody cool package.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. I figured it was worth mentioning that because that's why I'm actually doing the PSP version for the channel and not the original. So, I figured it was worth mentioning that. Something that probably you guys didn't know until I told you. So, or if you watched
I've heard that the PSP versions were known for more content.
Yeah, but if you watch the video, I also mention it too. So,
I've watched the first video already. So,
yeah. But it's
a great game.
I think I tried to be as informative as possible during that whole thing. So, but that's basically why I'm doing the PSP version. I know people really wanted the original, and I get that, but I seriously cannot sit through that version of the game because of how shockingly fucking brain dead and stupid easy the game is.
Well, to be fair, it's up to the person which version they want to do when the game goes in.
True. At the end of the day, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people that are new to the games too prefer playing that like an easier version of the game. But it's just like I I like. I played so much of the original. It's just that I can't really play the US version anymore. It's just like I can't even get through halfway through the game. It's just too easy. I don't like it. I'm not a fan. But like I mean, other people have their preferences, right? So like I'm not gonna judge people on like how they play and stuff. People can play how they want to.
Yeah, I actually did get to play Final Fantasy 7 or not 7, 4 on the GBA. It is a lot of fun. I enjoyed that a lot.
You honestly get a much better experience playing it the PSP version because I find the GBA versions of the games, the screen crunch is what really turns me off from it. Like you just and the music just doesn't sound as good. Like it's much more satisfying to play it like on like an emulator, or hell, even if you have like a SNES Mini like I do, you could just put it on there, mod it, play it on there. I don't encourage piracy by any means necessary, but we're at a time now where emulation helps preserve these old games.
Yep.
So that's the timeline that we're in, and not everyone can afford fucking cartridges that are like $80 for each game. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Or like one of the games Bongo was streaming recently, Secret of the Stars. Yeah, about $180 just to get
Secret
a copy
of
of that.
Stars is such an expensive game.
That's some serious shit.
And that's just off of Rookie Games.
Yeah. You're talking about Super Mario RPG, right? Legend of the Seven Stars?
No,
Tecmo Secret of the Stars.
Secret of the Stars. I'm thinking. I was thinking of a completely fucking different game then. Ooh, Secret of the Stars. Let me look that up real quick. It sounds familiar.
Yeah, you get to control two parties, but really to finish it, you can really finish it with only one.
Oh, I remember this game. Oh, okay. Anyway, you guys can carry on.
Yeah, I guess
So pretty much said said enough.
Yeah, so while we going on to the next part, we actually decided to actually add a new wing this year. And because remasters and remakes of games are becoming more and more popular, like remakes and remasters of games, we decided to add a wing into that because let's just face facts. Some of the games that are getting remade or remastered are better than the original. Right? Resident Evil's 1, 2, and 3 actually do come to mind as prime examples of this. So for the initial one this year, only Bragg and I added the game, but next year now it'll probably be a bit more to it than that. So I'll go on with the game I decided to add first, as I got to list down this one. I decided to go with Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD because of the fact that the graphics were updated a lot. They added a couple of other features like you can actually control it, make the vote faster, even though you got to get a specific item for that. And that's pretty much everything I could think of. Whether they added other things onto it or not, I'm not 100% sure. But I did like the update in the graphics to match the Wii U and a few of the other things, the additions that they had. Now, at the time that they actually released this game, originally back in, was it, oh, God, 03, I'm thinking? When it came out on GameCube?
Wind Waker
2 or 3.
Wind Waker, I think so. Yeah, 2003.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 2003.
Yeah, that's right.
Actually, no, it was 2002.
Okay, well, around 2002, 2003, around there.
2002, 2003. Because Japan had it in 2002. Everybody else got 2003.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was thinking of time that everyone else got it then.
2003.
Yeah. So, basically, like, I know the plot of it was that Ganon has returned, your Link's sister gets kidnapped, and you have to go rescue her. As you rescue her, you realize that there's a little bit more to do than just rescue your sister and go back to her normal life. And of course, that the game spawned 2 DS sequels.
Yep. Phantom Hourglass and what was Spirit Tracks.
Yep.
Which are also not too bad of games, so they're pretty good. But yeah, it's spawned those two.
Yeah, but that's pretty much all I could say about the game. If you guys want to chime in.
Well, I like the fact that they fixed that freaking sale issue from the original.
Yeah, like
Right.
anytime you can
It's-
add like new quality of
it's sale.
life improvements, that's a great thing.
Yeah, because the original game, Traveling the Great Sea, was slow as hell. In the remake, basically, they give you the option to get the Swift Sail, which means you can go across the Great Sea at pretty much lightning speed compared to the original. So it makes it a lot easier trying to get a lot of side quests done and just progress through the game in general.
Yeah, like that, like that one particular side quest that you got to do with the Koroks.
Yep, exactly. Gets done faster in the remake.
Bigo's grunt tells me how painful that was.
I've gone through like a lot of painful side quests just doing like a whole lot of sailing in that game.
Yep. But the game is great game.
Yep. And finally, we guess go to the last one here now.
Yeah, and this is the one that I picked, and it should come as no surprise that I picked this one. But Final Fantasy VII Remake. So you kind of figured I was going to pick this one. So originally, announced in 2015, came out April this year. Like, the whole thing of pandemic and all that. I didn't know if it was going to come out on time, and it actually did get delayed because of it by like a month. But it's pretty much visually updated. The battle system is completely different. It's not like the traditional ATP battle system that you saw in the 1997 original, where it's like more like it's Final Fantasy 15 in there, where you're running around your actual battlefield and you really only control one character, but you can switch to the other characters. So it's kind of got that kind of fight system. So yeah, what they call a real-time action fight system rather than the strategic ATV that the originals had. Great voice acting. And it's not a full complete game, of course, because the remake is going to be broken up into, I don't know how many chapters. It might be.
I think
it's three. I think it's three chapters. It's only on the PS4. So, sorry to the Switch fans or to the Xbox One fans. This game is only on PS4 as of right now. Came out on April 10th, of this year. And I still haven't finished it, actually.
I haven't even started it yet.
I started it. I got a bit into it. I'm probably, I might be halfway through it. But I haven't finished it. Because other games came out afterwards. Resident Evil 3, Paper Mario.
Of course, one of the things that they did eliminate, now, in the original, you did have the option to rename characters and everything, and they took that out of this game, which is probably so. I mean, you got voice acting and everything.
Yeah,
I think they also replaced the Aerith translation to actually go Aerith.
It is Aerith.
Yes.
It is Aerith. They fixed that.
No, and they never bothered to change Barrett to Barrett.
But yeah, they did change its name finally in that game. So, because as many people know, the Japanese version called it Aerith, and it was Aerith in like North America, and everybody just got confused or whatever it was, and they fixed that. So, all the characters are pretty. The only thing with the remake so far is, of course, you will get to use Cloud, Tifa, Barrett, and Aerith. You do not. Spoiler alert, do not get to use Red 13. You will meet him, but you don't get to use him. He's not playable. In part 2, he's going to be playable. So,
I guess they split it into discs, with parts like they did with discs.
well, so you can get the game digitally, or you can get a physical Blu-ray. So it's only one. It's only one Blu-ray disc, but
since they're making another game, you might as well say that they're doing disc 2 next.
That's basically what it's probably going to be. And I assume, I don't know the way Square would do it, but you're probably going to need a save file from the original to continue on with the second part. It's probably going to
They
need.
probably will.
It's kind of almost, I guess, the game was it the Legend of the Hero games like Cold Steel and Trails of Sky and that. You can technically probably play the second game of the series without the first one, but if you want to get further in the game, you can like import your save file. That's probably what they're going to do with this. They're probably going to go that route. Like, oh, you can still play this game without having the first one, but you're going to be at a disadvantage.
Can you
That's probably what
imagine? Can you imagine in the second one if they put in a previously on whatever, and if you don't have the save file, it just shows nothing.
Yeah, and also with the Final Fantasy VII Remake, kind of like a lot of RPGs do this, it's actually a difficulty setting. So there's multiple difficulty settings. So if you're not used to the game, you don't like the combat system, you can put it on like a very basic mode and make it really easy for you, or you can up the difficulty. So kind of like what Bongo did when he played Legends of Heroes: Trails of the Sky.
Kind of used to the combat in Final Fantasy VII Remake because I played the demo and it plays like kind of like Crisis Core.
Yeah, it's kind of like Crisis Core.
That's pretty much what it is.
It's basically Crisis Core. Well, Final Fantasy 15, Crisis Core, probably Final Fantasy 12, those type ones. It's basically what Final Fantasy 7's battle system like, but it's probably best compared to Crisis Core. And Crisis Core was another good game, so. Well, we're not here to talk about Crisis Core.
No.
And it does use the Unreal Engine 4 as well, so that's a very popular engine. So a lot of games are made using that engine.
But that's pretty much it now for the entire Hall of Fame. There's 12 games there right now, so 10 more into the original, and 2 enter a new wing. So that's actually not bad.
Nope.
Oh.
Yep, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Very
Time
good game.
flew by very fast with this Hall of Fame video.
It's about 150 games in now. For
Something
the
along that
original,
lines.
and 2 in a new wing. So 152 grand total.
Yeah.
If you want to go that route.
Cool, man.
That's a lot of video games.
That's almost as many. Taking the 2 out of the new wing, the 150, wasn't it the exact amount in the original Pokemon games?
150.
What's the 100?
I think there's actually, even though it says 150, I think there's a bit more.
I think it was 151 in the original.
Yeah, you can get Mew in the original.
Yeah, you can get Mew in the original.
But it was hard to find.
Without that, it'd be 150, but putting Mew in, 151. So, okay, close. But yeah, that was great.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's it. That's the 2020 Hall of Fame. So 12 games, 10 in the original and 2 in the new wing and remasters. So who knows? Maybe next year you'll see a Resident Evil go in that new wing, or I don't know. Maybe Trails of Mana because that got upgraded recently.
There's a lot of remakes that you can.
There's a lot. There's Zelda Twilight Princess, which that's a great game too. It's just actually Cole's playing Twilight Princess. So on his channel, so check that out. He's playing Twilight Princess.
The GameCube.
But of course, the GameCube. It's not the
There's a GameCube version.
Yeah, it came out.
It was
original.
with the Wii version. It
was actually originally
besides the flip of the maps from the Wii to the GameCube, the GameCube one is he's left-handed. Yep. And believe it or not, between the GameCube and Wii U versions, he's only left-handed in the GameCube version.
And originally the game was announced for the GameCube, and then of course Nintendo announced the Wii. Then they were like, "Oh, we're going to delay Twilight Princess until the Wii comes out, and we'll do a Wii version too. So that's why Twilight and Princess kept on getting delayed, because they wanted to wait for it to be a launch game for the Wii. And they launched at the same time, so a lot of people went and got the Wii version, a lot of people got the GameCube version.
Of course, Bonga did the Wii version of Twilight Princess on his channel. Which is why I'm doing the GameCube version on my channel.
And if I ever do the game, I'll do the Wii U version.
I also did the
That
Wii
console
version,
exists.
but mine has a catch. I did a 3-heart run.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Could you imagine if you did like 3-heart run, but used the Ganondorf amiibo as well?
Oh, God.
Oh, jeez.
Why don't you just put your balls through a meat grinder then?
Fucking 3-heart run, hero mode. Let's go.
Yep.
Get one-shotted by even bees.
Stuart B. Now I'm hearing freaking sirens.
Damn.
I think the police are looking for me.
Of course they are.
Colonel, I need help.
Alright, yeah.
All right.
That's basically it for this year.
So that's basically it. So just to recap the games and who inducted what. So Sephiroth 204 inducted Kirby's Canvas Curse. Moogle inducted Lufia and the Fortress of Doom. LP Grotus, or Stream Grotus as I like to call him these days, inducted Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. Bragg inducted Xenosaga. Zeo Lightning inducted Ty the Tasmanian Tiger. Colette inducted Mega Man 2. Samurai inducted Max Payne 2, The Fall of Max Payne. Nufibanga inducted Soul Blazer. The whole entire group of TGO, their Gaming Odyssey, and I thank them for their participation in the tournament as well, by the way. Inducted Donkey Kong Country 3, Dixie's Double Trouble, and the game that was chosen is a game which I had put in my part for the Hall of Fame tournament. Didn't think it would win, but here it is. Final Fantasy IV. Fun fact, when I put the games in, I put games in that I knew was going to get eliminated. That backfired.
He lies. That's why he's some moron, guys.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go that far.
And then of course for the new Wing remake of Final Fantasy VII, and of course the Wind Waker HD.
Yes.
Which was voted on by some asshole.
Yep. Well, he's the one that put in the freaking Wind Waker HD, that asshole.
Yeah.
Who is this user? I want to meet him. Because that's an awesome fucking username right there.
Yeah.
And how did he get that username past the guidelines of YouTube?
A bunch of dollar signs.
Actually, thinking about it now, I think my friend Chris does have his name as some cunt.
Oh,
No, it did pass through the filter.
So, okay, that's interesting how that happens. Okay. I know I'm recorded. It's okay. Even better. Well, that's it for the Hall of Fame this year.
Yes.
Yes.
Find out what happens next year.
Yep. So this is the whole entire crew signing off. Thanks for taking part, everybody.
Peace out.
peace
See you,
out,
everyone.
everybody.
Take care, everyone.